So many storylines heading into Seattle, but there can only be one lead story, and it's Jet Lawrence. Whoa, don't turn this off. I know some of you are tired of Jet winning and are terrified of the scary future of likely domination, but we still gotta cover this nerd. This week, we'll do it different. He's got a chick. Yeah, a real girlfriend. Hearts and flowers, lovey-dovey posts on Insta. Our boy is Twitter-pated. I actually met her a few years back at Anaheim after she sang the national anthem. Super nice girl. Nice work, buddy. Now, this isn't DMZ. I'm just having fun. I wouldn't bring this up and make a super relevant point and tie this topic all together at the end of this monologue. I would never. No, let's instead talk dirt bikes, and let's explore what the word king means when it comes to Supercross. I will go on record right now. That nickname is off limits. There is only one king, and it's King Jeremy. But what Jet is doing right now is king-like, and the similarities to 1993 are pretty wild in a different way. Feeling, perception, eye test, yeah, it's very similar, and we all need to swallow the reality pill, which is that Jet Lawrence has changed the sport already, and he did it just like Jeremy. Think back to 1992. We watched Bradshaw, Stanton, and the boys riding dirt bikes at a peak level. Through the eyes of the fans, at that time, they'd reached a max, a ceiling, the best it could be done. But Jeremy comes around in 93 and says, ha, max, ceiling, not even close. And he started doing things on the bike that nobody had done yet. He brought a level of skill and talent that couldn't be matched for years. That's Jet today. Eli, Kenny, Coop, Chase, they've all done things over the years that blow our mind. Beast mode is real. Kenny has spanked everyone. Coop's racecraft? Unmatched. Sexton's pure speed? Damn. A year ago, we're watching the best 450 Supercross racers in the world hit that max, hit that ceiling on modern technology. But Jet comes along, brings a rare touch and feel, a physics-like approach, and took this thing to a whole new level. That's the comparison. Forget 72 wins and 7 titles. Those are numbers that'll take time. But on the motorcycle, we've entered a brand new world. Now, Jeremy eventually timed himself out and was conquered by a mentality, not a skill set. RC was a relentless winner, a force and pressure that couldn't be stopped, and once he cleaned up the riding enough to be close in skill, his mind and heart were too much for Jeremy to handle. That's what's needed to stop Jet. The bummer part? Nobody in this class has that. Sorry. Maybe Coop, but unfortunately, he's just not good enough on the bike. His best is what Jet does in his sleep. Eli's on his way out. Kenny proved in Indy he's willing to sort of fight, but also let him by a few times. And then there's Chase. He's too nice. Sorry, he is. And unless he turns into a psycho who matches Jet on the bike at 90%, but can dominate him mentally with force, power, and yes, hate, he'll never touch him for more than a night. Nobody on the entry list in Seattle has it. Sorry, truth hurts. That brings us to the only true alpha in the sport within range of age to do something, but it's not coming for a few years, and by then Jet might be bored, gone, and racing MotoGP. That true alpha is Hayden Deegan. Yes, danger. Now, I've taken shots at him the past few weeks over douchey comments and a bratty attitude, but that attitude stems from the mentality that is needed to stop the Jet show. Danger has his own battles to conquer first and will eventually have to adjust the way he rides a bike, because the aggro rev limiter style doesn't translate to a 450. Ask Bam Bam. But yeah, he's the only one with the brain to do it, the mentality to do it, like RC did with the King. But we're so far off from that being possible, and to be fair, he still has to navigate his way through the 250s first, which isn't a given, as we've seen. There it is, folks. Truth hurts. Buckle up. A run is coming, and nobody in the sport right now can stop it. Not even Jet himself, as they seem to quickly correct course over there when there's an obvious problem, like Triple Crowns. Indy's little sweep and playtime put that issue to rest. So that brings us back to the girlfriend. Hopefully, he falls in love, gets married, and has a dozen little donut holes to distract him. That, sadly, is more likely to stop him than anyone in the 450 class. Congratulations, Cameron McAdoo, Triple Crown winner, points leader, and the most grateful interviewee of all time. What a rad story. From the flip at Atlanta to the ballsy ride at Detroit, Cameron has made it so easy to root for him, and his grace on the podium is understood, especially when you know his story. If you scratch below the surface, the real McAdoo story is not where he is today. It's how he got there. If you've followed amateur racing in past years or just heard stories through the grapevine, you'd hear the names Mike Alessi, Adam Cincerello, and Jet Reynolds as the most dominating mini bike racers in history. You won't hear the name Cameron McAdoo, because as he puts it, as a kid, he was a squid, and the result sheet backs that up. Let's take a look at the Racer X Loretta Lynn's vault for context. No 50 results on the scorecard. The dude was getting smoked by his sister in those days, and Loretta's in a pro career weren't on radar. He finally shows up on 65s, where he finished an impressive 12th to riders like Chase Bell, Cade Walker, Tommy Maxey, and Tyler Kirshner. Who dat? Never cracked the top 20 on an 85, never cracked the top 20 on a 125, nope. Fast forward to big bikes, and the dude shows up in the pro classes and finished 11th and 12th to guys like RJ Hampshire, Holt Nichols, and Aaron Plessinger. The Sioux City, Iowa native was going nowhere. Just a fast local kid who would most likely turn pro, race a year or two, quit and get a job, then drive around with his pro card hanging from his rearview mirror, trying to pull chicks at the local mall. But a year later, he started messing with the top dogs, finishing top 5 in both A classes with Chase Sexton and Michael Mosman on the gate. He caught the eye of Tony Alessi, who brought him in, gave him support, and offered him a chance due to the heart he was showing every second he was on the track. Then came a real opportunity, a fill-in ride with Geico Honda. A few decent results, but eventually, after a podium at the East-West Showdown in Vegas, he was dropped. I know that feeling. Not the podium, but walking to the Samboyd pits with your tail between your legs and nothing more than a jersey as memorabilia. But that wasn't his end, only mine. The only offer that came his way was a Pulpamex deal for Straight Rhythm, which was followed by the creation of the Whacker's identity, the tendency to send and crash himself into oblivion. Again, the dude was going nowhere, but he still had that heart. Eventually got another fill-in ride with TLD that led to an actual real ride with Pro Circuit Kawasaki, where he's been ever since. For the past few years, he's gotten faster, smarter, more disciplined, thanks to Nick Way, and even though the loose, sendy character still exists, it's tightened up just enough to deliver him the red plate and points lead in the 2024 250 East Coast Supercross Championship. That is a story. How does a story like this happen? How does a nobody amateur crash test dummy get to where he is right now? Heart, more than anyone on the gate. Cameron has never let up. He's a role model for stubborn resilience, and that's what ultimately gets it done in this sport. The lesson here? Never give up on yourself. Never let up if you truly believe. And most importantly, surround yourself with people who lift you up when you're down, not kick you down when you're up. And the second lesson? Don't let amateur results dictate your faith. You could be smoked by your sister, watch everyone else crush Loretta's while you're not even being recognized by name. You could be given tryouts and fill-ins and fail multiple times. You can crash yourself into highlight reels, get dropped, get forgotten about, and still fight your way back to the top. Triple Crown winner, points leader, inspiration, and you wonder why he's so gracious. 250 West makes its return in Seattle. Remember the names Kitchen, Hampshire, and Smith? Well, the boys are back for a couple weeks, and that championship was just getting good. Can Levi keep the ball rolling for the PC team, who carries both red plates as of today? It's Seattle, home sweet home for the chef, but them old boys RJ and Jordan are good and rested from their wild month of January. This championship has all the juice and might have to carry the load, while Freak Show bores us to death in the 450s. We'll cover Seattle on our new show, Overreaction, that recaps the races without script or filter and drops within a few hours of Checkered Flag, right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching this show. If you liked it, press the like button. And if you want to subscribe, then press the subscribe button. Share it with your friends, with your family, and grandma. Make sure you send it to grandma. Grandmas love everything Main Event Moto does. All you Motoheads out there, we are still rocking and rolling at Main Event Moto. You can go to patreon.com/Main Event Moto. We do 2 shows a week now, and both of them are live streamed. Patreon.com/Main Event Moto, and we will catch you on the next show.